Hi guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. On a road where trams operate, watch the video on trams, which vehicles will be at most risk from the tram rails? I mentioned that. Well, it's rails, isn't it? So, cyclists. The reason for this is because their wheels could go down in between the road and the tram, and then their wheel is stuck in the ridge and boom, over they go. Cars will just drive over it, buses, lorries, they don't care, they'll just drive over the rails, but cyclists could fall into the hole. When should you use your vehicle's horn? When other people pose a danger. So, to alert others to your presence. Perfect. So as an example, driving through Sainsbury's car park, a car starts to reverse out from a space. He hasn't seen you because there's other vehicles blocking his view. He's coming at you and scare him, and then you carry on driving past, and then he can come out. That's what it's for. It's to alert them when they can't see you. To allow you right away? No. To greet other road users? No. To signal your annoyance? No. Although other people do that, that is against the highway code. Don't do it. You're in a one-way street and want to turn right. Where should you position your vehicle when there are two lanes? Well, in the right-hand lane. The only reason we drive on the left in England is to allow oncoming traffic to come past. But if there is no oncoming traffic and you've got two lanes, then both lanes are travelling that way. So logically, you would be in the right-hand lane to turn right, because you don't want to be in the left-hand lane and then cut across people's noses, do you? It doesn't make sense. So it's really important when you're driving in a one-way street that you notice that you're in a one-way street and how many lanes there are, and if you're going to be turning right at the end, get in the right-hand lane. If you turn left, get in the left-hand lane. Lots of people fail their driving test for that, because we do sometimes go into a one-way street. Depends on what route they take. So, where should you position your vehicle when there are two lanes? In the right-hand lane. In the left-hand lane? No. In either lane, depending on traffic? No. Just left of the centre lane? No. Right, let's see what they say. When you're in a one-way street and want to turn right, you should take up a position in the right-hand lane. This will allow other road users not wishing to turn to pass on the left. Indicate your intention and take up the correct position in good time. Again, always make it obvious what you're doing. What type of crossing allows cyclists to ride across while pedestrians are also crossing? Two can, because two can cross. Go and watch the video on pedestrian crossings. You're travelling at the legal speed limit. Jolly well done. What should you do if the vehicle behind approaches quickly, flashing its headlights? Right, well that could be an unmarked police car. It could be a BMW driver. An idiot. Whatever. We bothered. Got a dude coming up behind you. I would just drive normally. If he goes for an overtaker, let him go. I'm not going to do anything particularly special. So let's see, accelerate to make a gap behind you? No, because he's coming up fast, isn't he? You won't make that gap. Touch the brakes sharply to show your brake lights. What, there's a fast moving car coming up behind you and you suddenly try to stop in front of it? Not a great shout. Maintain your speed to prevent the vehicle from overtaking? No, I'm not trying to prevent the vehicle from overtaking. Allow the vehicle to overtake? Yeah, fine. If he wants to overtake, let him go. But I'm not going to bust a gut just because I've got a numpty behind me, you know? But equally, I'm not going to be there and try and teach a lesson to him or anything like that. You're approaching an unmarked crossroads. Right, now this is a crossroads where you've got two roads that cross like that, but there's no road markings, so therefore there's no give way from any direction. That's an unmarked crossroads. Go and watch the video, I think there's a video on it, or definitely a document on it about crossroads. How should you deal with a junction? Right. There's no one to give way, so how would you logically? You're coming up to a junction, anyone can go into that junction at any point because no one has to give way, so therefore that sounds particularly dangerous to me. So I would just treat it with extreme caution. I don't know if someone's coming out, because there's no rules to say who should go first, so it's just like a free-for-all. So I would treat it with extreme caution. So let's have a look. Accelerate and keep to the middle. No, I wouldn't go into an unmarked crossroads at speed. Slow down and keep to the right. If you keep to the right, that's where all the traffic is. Accelerate and look to left. No. Slow down and look both ways. Yeah. Who knows when somebody's going out? It's on a first come first served basis. So it's whoever gets to go first goes first, basically. But don't assume that the person coming from the side has even seen the crossroads, because there's no markings. They're really difficult to see. So people just tend to just drive straight through them, unaware that they've gone through an unmarked crossroads. Thankfully, you only normally get them in built up areas like a housing estate, because they're a nightmare. Right, which colour follows the green signal at a puffin crossing? Right, so this is a pedestrian crossing. So a puffin is a pedestrian user-friendly interface, so it's just got a sensor on it. So it's just a normal traffic light that changes when it knows everything is okay. So what colour follows green? That would be amber. Steady amber. So puffin crossings have an infrared sensors that detect when pedestrians are crossing and hold the red traffic signal until the crossing is clear. The use of the sensor means no flashing amber light phase as there is in a pelican crossing. Absolutely right. Go and watch my video about pedestrian crossings. It explains it all and explains when or how to remember which one does what. You're in a line of traffic. What action should you take if the driver behind is following very closely? Right, you've got a tailgater to you. At the end of the day, if you stop suddenly, he could smash into the back of your car. Fine. Therefore, we've got to try and do something that means that we don't have to stop suddenly. So the best way to not have to stop suddenly is create a gap from the vehicle in front of you. If you've got all the time in the world to stop in, then the chance of that bloke smashing into the back of you is massively reduced, isn't it? So, bloke travelling closely, so ignore the driver behind and continue to travel within the speed limit. Well, yeah, you do, but you have to adapt the gap. Slow down, gradually increase the gap between you and the vehicle in front. Love that. Then regain your speed. All right, so we're not saying you drive slow. What we're saying is, if you were driving at 30 miles an hour, you would slow down to 29 miles an hour until you've got a bigger gap and then take it back up to 30. All right. Signal left and wave the driver behind to come past. He might not want to come past. Move over to a position just left of the centre white line. No. Just create a gap. What does it mean if the signs on at a bus lane show no times of operation? Well, thank heavens. Here is a sign what I prepared earlier. In fact, there is that sign. So let me move this across for you. I just need to click on that. Fine. Okay. So this is the road sign. All right. Now, before I answer that question, under here there is a different road sign, but with times on it. And this type of box that we've got here could appear under that. So this is a high occupancy vehicle. So you often get these in cities, for instance, where they say there's a lane. So if you've got 2 or more people in a car, it's to try and cut down on congestion, basically. Then people can use that lane, right? It's to encourage people to car share going to work and stuff. And what they're saying is Monday to Friday, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock and 4 till 6, if you have only people who have more than one person in the car can use that lane. Outside of that time, anyone can use that lane, sorry. So, but during that time, only more than one person can use that. Now, if you applied that to this, what that would say is that buses, cyclists and taxis can only use that lane during that time. Because there is no time constraint on this one, it applies 24 hours a day. So only buses, taxis and cyclists can use that lane all the time. If, however, that was under it, then they're saying that only taxis, cyclists and buses can use that lane between those times. So out of those times, so if it was 6:30 in the morning, a car could use the bus lane. We've got them in Camberley, and they's like Saturday, there's like loads of people just stay out of the bus lane because they don't read the road, so they just see bus lane and leave it alone. But on Saturday in Camberley, you can just drive down the road. It's like getting your own lane. It's brilliant. But you do need to read the road signs because there will be cameras around. All right. What does it mean if the signs at a bus lane show no times of operation? The lane isn't in operation? No. The lane is only operation at peak times? No. The lane is in operation 24 hours a day. It says that that lane is operating during for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Okay, but if it has that plaque under it, then it's for specific times. Chip your answer correct. Lovely. 100%. Boom! It's like I know what I'm doing. Good. Hope that helped. See you later.